I created this game in just 5 days, only to realize that I might have created a monster that people will hate me for forever. But jokes aside, I made this game because I wanted to participate in my very first game jam ever.
Bad idea. This is a bad idea.
To my surprise, it wasn't as bad as I thought. Even though I joined in 2 days late for the competition, in the end, I managed to submit the game before the final deadline, and the result weren't as bad as I expected from my first try. Out of 22 entries, I managed to secure 5th place. So in this video, I want to take you on a little adventure with me, where I'll be sharing my journey day by day. From how I coded an inverted pendulum physics system while fasting, which by the way, didn't work from the first try.
Oh my god, bro. Oh,
to how I made the game cover and designed the game page. At first glance, this game looks very innocent, but give it a few tries and you might just start questioning your sanity. If you are up for a test, the game is available right now on itch.io. No downloads needed. I would love to hear in the comments how many falls it took you before reaching the end, and with that being said, let's start the adventure. It all started on a random late Monday night when I stumbled upon a game jam on itch.io. What really caught my attention was the theme. It instantly sparked an idea, so I didn't even waste time overthinking it. I jumped straight in, gathered a bunch of references, and started brainstorming. The concept is simple. You play as Antonio, an Italian chef riding a unicycle, carefully balancing a pizza as he tries to deliver it to a client waiting on the other side of the map. I drew inspiration from games like Devlog and Q, aiming for that same fail, retry, master loop that keeps players coming back. In fact, the game embraces the cyclic theme in 2 ways. First, the unicycle itself is literally a cycle, and second, the gameplay revolves around a repetitive loop of falling and trying again. And to fully capture the Italian vibe, I set the game on the rooftops of Burano in Venice with a V. And for the final touch, your last client will be a mafia boss. After collecting the references, I went to sleep to be ready for the journey ahead of me. I was so excited about the idea that I barely slept, maybe like 5 hours tops, before jumping straight into modeling the unicycle. That part wasn't too difficult. I built the wheels, pedals, seat, and moved on to the next challenge, rigging the pedals so the character's feet would follow the motion. Now, I'm no rigging expert, okay, but after tinkering with the bone constraints for a while, I managed to get a pretty smooth movement. I attached the pedals to the rig and voila. Then came the fun part, adding the second pedal and making them move in sync. When one pedal rotates forward, the other rotates backward. It took a few tutorial videos and some trial and error to simulate that classic pedal motion, but I got it working at the end. And fun fact, I did all of this during a Zoom class, as you see the icon down there. So if you are my teacher and watching this, don't worry, I totally had you on my second screen the whole time, I promise. Now let's talk about designing the main character. Oh boy, as usual, I wanted to collect a few references to nail that Italian look. Only this time, my research history was kinda sus. Anyway, the first thing I did was give him a nice huge mustache. Wait, this looks like a badminton ball. I also added a humongous nose, threw in some tiny eyes, and covered them with 2 thick eyebrows. For the rest of the body, I simply didn't know what shape I should go for. I was trying to make the chef as cartoony as I could, only my version looked like a lemon bottle. I even attempted to give him a larger butt that would fit the chair. Instead, now he looked like a speed bump on a school street. But long story short, after some more tweaking, this is the final model. On my second day, I sent it to Substance Painter to throw in some colors. This is where my inner child got to enjoy the most. Also, I made sure to add the Italian flag on the bike. Wait, these are the Italian colors, right? Well, it's pretty much that, but anyway, this is Antonio after some colors. And after finishing the character rig, the final step before animating was to make the feet bones follow their pedals using inverse kinematics. I added a pole target for the legs to control the orientation and positioning of the feet during pedaling. Honestly, I was genuinely impressed with how smoothly it all came together. I've always struggled with rigging, but not gonna lie to you, lately I seem to enjoy it a lot. In Unity, I set up 2 animation layers, one for the lower body body and one for the upper body. For the lower body, I enabled only the leg bones, while the upper body layer controls everything else. I created separate animations for leaning forward and backward, and even reversed the pedaling animations so Antonio can pedal backward as well. Then in the animator, I added one float parameter to control the animations. Since movement is only horizontal, this parameter reflects the input direction, positive for right, negative for left, and the animations will play accordingly. Like I said at the start of the video, my goal was simple: make a physics-based unicycle game where you have to balance somehow. What I didn't realize was that I was about to enter the 7th circle of game dev hell. My first brilliant idea was, hey, what if I apply gravity to the upper body and make the rest follow? Yeah, very smart. That didn't even last 5 minutes. Instead, I had a big brain moment and I was like, what if I flip the logic? What if I control the lower body and just let the upper body follow? So after way too many failed attempts, seriously, at one point I wasn't even sure if I was making a cycling game or a fidget spinner simulation.
Helicopter, helicopter!
I've fallen and I can't get up.
I finally cracked it. I set Antonio's pivot point right at the wheel level and attached everything to it, except the wheels, since they needed their own rotation. And for the unicycle and Antonio's body, they could pitch back and forth like a seesaw. Before diving into a custom gravity system, I had to check if this setup actually worked. So I mapped the left and right keys to control Antonio's rotation, and at that moment I knew that I had just created a game that would make people rage quit in record time. Now comes the hardest part: applying gravity and making the player keep their balance. Look, I'm no physicist, okay? But I do love a good brain-busting challenge, so after a lot of trial and error and moments of existential doubt, I took inspiration from a physics concept called the inverted pendulum. Basically, a unicycle is like a pen balanced on your finger. It constantly wants to fall, and your job is to keep it upright by making tiny movements. In my case, that means figuring out a way to let the player control these micro adjustments while still making them feel the struggle of real balance. So after coding this system, I spent 2 or 3 hours tweaking values like a mad scientist, trying to find the perfect balance. Not too easy, not control smashingly hard, and finally I got it just right. Then I thought, hey, let's spice things up. I added some height variation so the game wouldn't feel like a boring flat road. Big mistake. Suddenly, Antonio's unicycle lost all sense of reality. The poor guy was flipping and doing things that even circus performers would find offensive, and for some reason, gravity decided to work in reverse. Instead of falling, Antonio was being sent into a one-way trip to Mars. But don't worry, I applied the most advanced physics fix known to humankind. I flipped a minus sign. Yeah. Antonio was back to Earth. To take things to the next level, I also added a steep platform. However, it was too steep, and Antonio kept falling on his head. Well, that was day 2. Now on to day 3, where I had one major crisis to fix: the game loop. I needed a way to restart the game every time the player lost balance. My first idea was check Antonio's rotation angle, and if he tilts too much, restart. This worked great on flat roads, but the moment I added an incline, the game started acting like an overprotective mother, resetting Antonio when he wasn't even falling, like chill, he got this. So instead, I deleted that logic, and I gave Antonio's head a collider. So now, if his skull kisses the ground, game over. But then I thought, wait, what about the pizza? I mean, if Antonio survives but his pizza plants into the floor, does that count as a failure? And you already know the answer. So I added the pizza box, added the design, a collider, and even made it behave in a way where the box cover would open when leaning forward and would close when leaning backward. Now the moment Antonio's head or his pizza smacks the floor, it's an instant restart. At this point, the game was so unbelievably difficult that even I, the developer behind it, couldn't even play test it properly. It felt like designing a torture tool and realizing that I have to survive it too. So instead, I added a checkpoint. You can say that's my way for saying thank you, since we are so close to hitting 2k subscribers. So if you made it till here and you're not subbed yet, maybe considering slapping that button. It truly means a lot. Now, whenever the player reaches a checkpoint, they would restart from that checkpoint instead of getting yeeted back to the square one. And let me tell you, this was a game changer. In fact, even I would thank myself every time I playtest the game. But I wasn't done. I need a way to make the player feel bad for falling. I wanted to give the player some emotional damage. So I added an end screen displaying how many times the player fell and how long they took to finish. and a rating system. And for some extra spice, I wanted a constant reminder of every fall the player takes, so I added the fall counter in game too.
That is evil.
On the fourth day, I decided to do something very outrageous, something game devs rarely do. I went outside. After my brief moment away from screens, I got to work on level design. But let's be real, this part was mostly just me staring at Blender while my laptop slowly transformed into a jet engine. Since I wanted peak productivity, I worked in a silent library, which was great, until my laptop fans decided to take off and my stomach started making demonic noises since I was fasting that day. It was so loud that I swear people were looking around, trying to figure out where the dying animal was. Later that night, I threw some colors on the assets, exported them into Unity, and added in some post-processing effects, and guess what? According to the game jam results, the visuals ended up being the strongest part of my game. So yeah, I would say day 4 was a massive win, and the best part, I still had one day left. On the 5th day, I had officially reached my limit. No more coding, no more modeling. My brain was so overheating, so I decided to work on the game page instead. First up, the game cover. I fired up Blender, made a goofy pose for Antonio, rendered it in PNG, then hopped into Photoshop and messed around with colors until it looked right. I slapped on a gradient red background and I came up with the name One Wheel Meal. It was so goofy, it was so ridiculous, it was perfect. Next, I set up the itch.io page, feeling pretty proud of myself until I realized something off. My game had no sound, and according to the game jam rules, sound was kind of important, but being the lazy person that I am, I took the most efficient route. I grabbed the bird sounds from my previous games, threw it in, and called it a day. Unfortunately, that didn't work out for me this time, and I ended up ranking 15 in sound, out of 22. Truly a big failure. Anyway, I think the video is already past the 10-minute mark, so I will wrap it up here. Thank you so much for watching, and as I mentioned earlier, you can play One Wheel Meal on itch.io, and I would really love to hear what you think. My next project is probably going to be something for college, so stay tuned for that. And now for the moment you've all been waiting for.